Should you build Luo Xiaohei? Short answer, probably. Long answer, this entire video.
しっかり捕まってドクター。僕の能力で向こうに飛んだ方が早いから。
Luo Xiaohei is a 4-star Lord Guard that apparently got isekai to Terra. A shy and friendly kid, yet occasionally can be rowdy. He along with his friends got teleported to Terra through mysterious means. And by chance stumble upon Lee and his detective agency. And has been with them for some time, until Xiaohei reunited with his friends in Rhodes Island. He and his friends currently reside in the landship. And becoming one of the young operators in Rhodes Island. Using his combat prowess. And mysterious arts technique that didn't use Originium to tackle various missions. We keep sending childrens to battlefield. I'm afraid it won't be long until the whole UNICEF got teleported to Terra. Anyway, Luo Xiaohei is our third 4-star Lord Guard. And a free operator in his collab event. He's considered a super limited operator. So make sure you don't miss him at the event. And could he provide a useful utility for you? Let's see his abilities first. As a Lord Guard, Xiaohei has a long range. And can deal ranged attacks when not blocking. But his ranged attack only deals 80% damage from the total of his attack stat. As for his stats, he has a higher attack stat among other 4-star Lord Guards, almost similar to the 5-star. And he's an offensive-oriented operator, so it's a good news. Although his HP is lower than other 4-star Lord. And his DP cost is also cheaper than them. As for his talents, Xiaohei won't kill enemies directly, but instead inflict critically wounded to them. Becoming the second operator to inflict this debuff after Saga. Critically wounded will leave enemy 1 HP away from dead. They will die 10 seconds after receiving that debuff. Or when other operators attacked and killed the enemies. If the critically wounded enemy is killed by an allied unit, that unit will receive 1 SP, or 2 SP at Elite 2. Sounds like a nice SP support, but it's not exactly something effective. You will need to make sure Xiaohei is the one who deals the final blow to the enemy, for this debuff to active. But other operators can easily steal the kill, when they are attacking the same target as Xiaohei. Especially since he doesn't really have strong skills like Saga. So it can be difficult for him to deal the final blow and inflict that debuff. And also unlike Saga, who has the skill to kill critically wounded enemies. And gain the SP for herself. Xiaohei sadly doesn't have the skill to do that. As his skills will make him enter an SP lockout state. We skip the potential and module. For some reason you can't upgrade his potential. And currently Lord Guard is module-less. As for skills, let's see his first skill. Arguably his most famous skill, as this one can turn him into his spirit cat form. Changing his attack range, and only deal melee attack. Increase his attack speed. Gains some physical dodge, and attacks all blocked enemies. This skill is useful to clear multiple trash mobs and inflict critically wounded. And the cheap SP cost of this skill lets you to switch his form quite often. But while this skill is good to handle trash mobs, he struggles against a high defense enemies, as this skill doesn't have any attack boost or damage multiplier. As for the physical dodge, it is nice, and can save him from life-threatening attacks. But I won't say the dodge is something dependable. And if you want a tough unit that can attack multiple enemies, might as well use a Centurion Guard like Estelle instead. Now moving to his second skill. It will increase his attack. Ranged attack no longer have penalty. Target 1 additional enemy, and add additional attack that ignore 200 defense. When the target HP is below 50%. This skill offers better damage than his skill 1. That can help more in fighting multiple tougher defense enemies. Or just targeting a specific one. But you might still need other operators to weaken the enemies to 50% HP. And unleash the true potential of his damage. It has a pretty short duration that can make it hard for Xiaohei to finish off an enemy. But I suppose the skill cycle is quick enough. And you might have noticed this skill is similar to Aaron's S2. Which the main difference is that Aaron deals damage. In terms of which one is better, it's more or less depending on what enemy you are facing. If facing a lighter defense target or a higher resistance one like episode 9 enemies, Xiaohei can be a more reliable option. Especially when enemies are below 50% HP. Otherwise, facing a higher defense target, particularly a drone, Kirito's art's damage is preferable. And he also doesn't need a certain condition to make the most out of his damage. Now for skill mastery priority. I don't think any of Xiaohei's skill is a priority to master. But if you want to master it, it's better you go for his skill 2. As it deals more damage and offer more from mastery upgrade. Unless you want to see a cute big eyes cat in battle, then go for skill 1. As for his base skills, when making any materials with a base moral cost of 8, byproduct production chance is increased by 50%. And for the second skill, when making any materials recipe that cost 4 or higher moral, will have their moral cost divided by 4. So, will Xiaohei become a good operator for your team? I think for a long time player he is quite late to join the game. I'm sure most of you already build at least one or even more Lord Guard. If it's Aaron you build, or a 5-star rarity Lord Guard or above, it's not necessary to build Xiaohei. But for new players who haven't built any Lord Guard, he is a good option to start. For general story content, and a cheap yet solid guard option in IS mode. But if you have Aaron available, I suppose he is a better option. Considering art's damage is preferable when fighting tough defense target. And his talent that deal more damage to drones is also preferable. Especially early chapters tend to be drones heavy. That should be all. Adios.
Meow.